Hi there, this is Sheri Myers. Welcome to How to Connect with Angels. We created this podcast because we believe that no matter what, every person has the love and help of angels, God's messengers. Angels are everywhere, if we are willing to ask. That's what our film, The Glitch, is all about. Visit us at theglitchmovie.com and sign up for our newsletter about our future filming here in New Orleans. But now, right now, let's talk to someone who is devoted to helping us make that divine connection. Dr. Ruth Anderson is a lifelong student, teacher, and international best-selling, award-winning author. She retired after a satisfying and worthwhile career in special education and public school administration to embrace her second calling, that of an intuitive reader and healer. After becoming a reverend of the Church of Inner Light, Ruth was given a ministry to witness and participate in the healing of souls with and without bodies in the ethereal realm called Open Clinic. She is author of One Love, Divine Healing at Open Clinic, and Walking with Spirit, Divine Illuminations on Life, Death, and Beyond. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Ruth Anderson. How are you?
I am awesome. How are you, Sheri?
I am awesome, and I am awesome for meeting you because your light and you are out there. You're out there. You live outside Boulder, Colorado. You have devoted a number of years now. I mean, you've come out of a life as an educator, right? Mm-hmm. And then you moved into this. I'm going to say to everyone, this is an extraordinary person, Dr. Ruth Anderson. Dr. Ruth Anderson has an incredible book out called Walking with Spirit, Divine Illuminations on Life, Death, and Beyond. She is a paradigm shifter. She is a healer. She has all kinds of incredible tools, and she has something called the Open Clinic. So we're going to step to this awesomeness that is Ruth Anderson. And Ruth Anderson, what happened in your life?
Good question. Good. My head still spins when I think about it. So I always, as a child, had some kind of a connection to spirit, but I wasn't sure really what that meant. Mm-hmm. But I knew that Christ was part of that, and I knew that the Holy Spirit was part of that. But it sort of stayed kind of tucked away. It didn't dominate my life at all, but it was a moral fiber for me. So I had that consistent thread throughout my life.
And you were Christian. You were raised in a religious family?
Sort of, kind of. Uh-huh. I was more religious than my family. My family has been Methodist all of our lives, which to me feels quite benign as far as a religion goes.
Did you say Methodist?
Uh-huh.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. It's the 59-minute service. I don't care, if it's Christmas or Easter, it's over in 59 minutes.
Yeah. It's nice. It's good about good people. Yeah. So you were more religious, and you always had this mysterious connection.
Yes, and I didn't understand it. But my 5 years ago, my best friend of 20-some years started teaching me that I was intuitive. Well, she didn't know she was teaching me that I was intuitive. She was actually dying of cancer, and we didn't know it. And she would come to me in my dreams and give me this is what's going on. And then I'd find out in real life it was what's going on. And she died 4.5 months after my first intuitive message from her. And it was a shock. None of us knew that including her, that she had stomach cancer.
Oh my goodness. Did you ever talk to her about those dreams while she was on this side?
No, because the first dream was that her sister-in-law called me and told me that Sylvia was fatally ill.
Oh my goodness.
The next day, her sister-in-law calls me and tells me that Sylvia's fatally ill.
Oh my
She had
goodness.
a massive stroke. So by the time I could actually put together in my head what had happened, Sylvia was so involved with being sick. She was paralyzed half of her body, and the stomach cancer was truly taking hold. So I started working with intuitives, trying to figure out what in the world was going on, that I was getting these messages from my friend before she died and after she died. Yeah. I mean, Sylvia helped me plan her celebration of life after she was dead. It was the craziest thing.
Wow.
So I started taking classes to learn about intuition, and it just struck such a chord with me. And the messages that I was getting, it wasn't just me looking for information. It turned into Spirit seeing me as an open conduit.
Oh.
And so I started really listening. And then Spirit said, write a blog. And I said, what's a blog? I'm an old woman. I don't know what a blog is. So I just started writing down all of the things I was experiencing. And then Spirit said, create a website. And I said, you're going to have to bring somebody to do it, because I'm not taking time out of this journey to learn how to do a website. So somebody was brought to me, and then Spirit said, write a book. And I said, I'm happy to write whatever you want me to write, but bring me the person who's going to help me publish this. And that's how my journey has been this whole time. Spirit said, do a radio show. I said, okay, find me one to be on. And within about 3 months, I was on about 12, 13 radio shows. And then Spirit said, have your own radio show. Everything's almost everything Spirit says. I've gone, okay, bring it, and help me. And wait, I have to stop right now, because Walking with Spirit is your radio show. When is your radio show? It's on Thursday nights.
Okay.
It's 9:00 Eastern time, and it's on International Angels Network.
Thursday night, 9
Eastern time.
9 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And it is an hour?
It is an hour.
And it's a call in. First it's interviews, and then it's call in. It's whatever it is. It's whatever.
It's whatever it is.
It's whatever it is. It's amazing. That's what it is. Okay.
Speaking with it, and I just keep bending, and there we go.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So there you were. You were communicating with your friend's spirit. You were in another realm. You were in the One Love?
She came to me. She was in my realm.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, I started meditating every day because it felt like home. I don't know how else to describe it, but it felt like home. So I meditated every day, and then I started really getting downloads of information. And one such day, one topic will take me 2 months to get all the information on it. So one such month, I kept being taken up to this place in the ethereal realm. And to me, it was like being with God.
Yeah.
Now, I don't view God as like some white old haggard man. That's not what he looks like to me. To me, God is an energy, and a huge, vast energy. And I was given the name One Love. And I was told it doesn't matter what denomination you are. It's about, it really doesn't. It's about connecting with God consciousness, really. So I was given the name One Love, meaning all God lovers coming together to celebrate this, and it's not an entity, it's an energy. An energy. And then the other cool thing, which has come around full circle to me, is there's a part of One Love that is like a crystalline mass. It's this huge mass of like crystalline rock, but it's kind of see-through. But there's different colors to it. And if you're familiar with the chakra colors, when I go up there, in quotes, go up there in meditation, I can go to one of the different colored areas and receive a healing to that color coordinated chakra.
Wow.
It is the coolest thing. And I hadn't seen that for probably a year. And just like 2 days ago, it was reintroduced to me again.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Now, can I ask you, do you have any sense of a relationship between the archangels, the colors, the angels? This component, this working with angels, that's of course the title of this podcast. And you have developed a loving relationship with archangels. How did that happen?
Well, interesting. Well, first let me say that as I'm recording this, in the room with me right now, I have Divine Mother, Archangel Michael, Gabrielle, Raphael, Uriel, Cassiel, and Metatron. And they've been with me all morning because we've been working on this big project. So they're with me here in the room right now. The very first time I ever remember seeing an angel, although I might have in my childhood, I really don't remember, was the day I pronounced, there is no such thing as angels.
Whoa.
Because I couldn't see them. I couldn't find them. And all I had seen was like online, these pictures of voluptuous vixens with like big breasts and deep cleavage. And I thought, no. If that's what an angel is, that just doesn't work for me. So therefore, there's no such thing as angels. And that same day, that same morning in meditation, I saw like ridges, like it was whitish, grayish, bluish, and it was ridges. And I had to step back from it to look at what it was. And it was the back of Archangel Michael's wing. It was crazy. But that's how it happened. And then Archangel Michael has been, and if you look, I know you don't have it, but the cover of my first book, One Love, Divine Healing at Open Clinic, is what it looks like. It's just this close-up vision of the back of a wing.
Oh, wow. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. It's so artful. It's so, and sublime and clean and all kinds of things. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to, keep going back to this, awakening that you had that allowed this extraordinary outpouring of this amazing material and experience. Now, there have been 2 books we've been talking about. And the first book that you are just touching on is One Love, Divine Healing at Open Clinic.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. So you downloaded this book. Okay. And what happened prior to downloading this book? This finding this one love. You're talking now about finding this experience of God, having this experience in the light of God, right? And that it becomes, and I'm going to paraphrase, and please correct me because I'm only going to paraphrase. You've experienced this open clinic, this place of healing, right?
Yes. Yeah, on the ethereal realm. So what I was shown, and this was over like a year and a half, what I was shown was this place in the ethereal realm where there were no walls, no boundaries. It just, as far as the eye could go in every direction. And souls would show up there for healing. Now, some of these souls were still in bodies. And I could tell that they were still in bodies because as I saw them in soul form, they looked like a kind of a vaguish blob of kind of energy. I don't know how else to describe it. But the ones that were still in body were white, and the ones that were no longer in body were gray. And they would come for healing, and I could intuitively read what they were there for.
Mm-hmm.
And the healing was provided by the Archangels, Divine Mother, mostly Michael and Raphael, and the Divine Mother. And as I stood there, I was channeling God's divine healing light through my body and out through my hands. I don't believe that I was healing. I believe I was holding space for the healing that was taking place there.
Yeah.
And as the souls received healing, sometimes they were escorted out by an angel. Sometimes they would, if they were still in body, they would fly off back like a dove, like a white dove. They just sometimes they would just exit on their own. So I saw so many different episodes of healing. And in the first book, I chronicle some of the different healings that I've seen. But I have seen thousands and thousands of souls there at a time. Other times I've gone and there was just one or two. So it was like watching a different TV channel every time I walked in.
So incredible.
No idea what I was going to witness.
So amazing. That is so amazing. And that's what you talk about in One Love, Divine Healing at Open Clinic.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. And on your website and on your webpage, on our website, we will have all the links where people can go and purchase a copy of both of these books. Now you have these two books and you have a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to have a ministry?
So my business, if you will, my job is called the ministry, and I have the ministry online, which is my website, which is Facebook, and my website, social media.
Uh-huh.
I have the ministry in print, which is my 2 books, and I'm finishing up a 3rd, and Divine Mother gave me a 4th one yesterday.
Oh, bless you.
The ministry on air is the radio show and some other things that are going to be coming down the pike. And then got some other huge project that Archangel Michael is working with me on that I can't say out loud yet, but it's in line with the ministry.
Mm-hmm. And the ministry in your day-to-day life and in your one-on-one work with people,
mm-hmm.
Tell me, what does that look like?
So, well, in my day-to-day life, I'm a mother and a wife,
mm-hmm.
and retired, thankfully. Otherwise, I wouldn't have time to be doing all of this. So that's kind of interesting, raising teenagers in a secular world when I've got, 2 arms and a leg up in the ethereal realm.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a little tricky sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Your children are teenagers.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So they hear all the stories because I want them to have the knowledge of both sides, the secular world and the ethereal world.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, interesting journey for them that
mm-hmm.
they didn't know they were going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm working with clients, and I don't work with clients that often because my main goal is, it's not my goal, it's my calling, is
mm-hmm.
to learn from the archangels and turn that information around and put it out into the world. It's mostly writing that I do, and then the speaking. But
right. That makes sense.
But I do work with clients sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And, when I do, I always invite in the divinity, whoever's going to show up, to share information with the person I'm talking to.
Yes.
So that's been really fascinating.
Well, that's what you do when you write. So it's the same thing. It's really sharing. I think that's wonderful. I mean, I really think it's wonderful. And I'm really excited for people to avail themselves of your radio show and of your writing, because it is a paradigm shift. It is a paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's a wonderful paradigm shift, because one of the things that I want to note about your journey is that, and you have emphasized this, that this is non-denominational.
Right.
We're in non-denominational territory. What's going on in the world that this is now the time for this opening?
I can tell you for me,
yeah,
what it is. I can't speak for everybody else.
That's all we have is each other, your point of view. So please go.
So I'm not going to be political here, but a little bit. When there was a shift in the presidential role, there also was an increase in fear, hate, all of the isms. And I vowed that I was going to have or be a renaissance of one and do whatever I could to bring as much light and positivity into this world because we so need it.
Yeah.
And so my renaissance of one became the Facebook page of trying to boost people up. I'm driven to try to make a difference for the people in our world that are struggling.
Yes. And people need to see a message of hope.
Right.
Back to the angels, please. Your experience now with the angels is so powerful and connected and affirming. And do you ever feel overwhelmed?
Every once in a while. So an example, 2:30 this morning, my dear friend who's traveling texted me. She's in Norway. She didn't realize what the time was here, right? So, but it woke me up. And as I was awake, I felt Archangel Michael in the room, and he was giving me a clearing of energy that was going to be slowing me down in this major project that we're working on. Oh. So, and then I got this download of ideas of things to do. So, I had to get up and text it to me so I wouldn't forget them. So, there's times like that I think, okay, Michael, you really could have waited till 7. Yeah. But the funny thing is, when things like that happen, I'm actually not tired. I'm revitalized and energized because Metatron, that's his role, is to, it almost feels manic sometimes, and I'm not a manic person, but the energy that he is providing me to get things done in a timely manner, because it's so important that things get done now, and I don't really know exactly why, but there's a reason.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's important.
Metatron. So
yeah, that I love that. I love that description because no, it's not manic. It is urgent. It's urgency. This is what urgency feels like. It's not manic. It's not crazy. It's urgency. And it's the power of now and the power of getting it done without thinking, oh, you really? It's going to be hard.
Well, right.
So, and honey, I just wanted to harken back to, and I don't remember if you said this before we started our interview or not, so I'm going to bring it back up again. But you said every step of the way, when you heard Spirit saying, okay, time to do a radio show, you said, okay, bring me the people who do radio. And there you are. You had 12 radio. Within 3 months, you had interviews on 12 different radio shows. Right. So you struck out, you heard the calling and you put out both your hands and your heart and you said, okay, let's work together on this.
Mm-hmm. I don't always have patience, actually.
Nor I.
Sometimes it's like, Gabrielle, come on. Seriously, I need this right now. Yeah. So I'm not always patient about it. And I think it's because they do have such a fire lit behind me that I don't have time to mess around with,
Okay. So here's the big question. Why is it so important that your, the information that you've channeled and the information that's come through you, all of this, why is it so urgent now?
My main message, after all of it gets sort of boiled down, is that Spirit is there, willing and able to connect with each and every one of us. And all we have to do is reach out. And they're right there. And that is the entire message. And I think there's just such a need across the world for people to know you are not alone. Mm-hmm. What you're going through, yes, is difficult, but you're not alone going through it.
Because because you're not alone, because we have our angels.
Yes, they're right there.
Who would dream that they would have dreams about their best friend going through this terrible, life-changing journey? And there you are receiving the messages about that and her whole transition from here to there.
Right.
Now, let's talk about that for a moment.
So her actual transition, I was with her
Yeah.
when she passed, and she didn't go anywhere. It was weird because I was in California with her when she died. I flew back home to Colorado, and she's in my home.
Oh.
And I said to her, "You always have a home here. You absolutely stay as long as you want." And she was in my home for about 3.5 months. And then as my skills were increasing, then I think maybe she saw I was okay, or she realized she was okay or something, but she finally went. But in meditation, I have been taken to where she is, which was the best gift ever. So when we die, we go to a residential hall. It's massively huge, 7 levels of it, called the Cathedral of Souls. And one of the meditations, I was taken to a particular level of the Cathedral of Souls, and Sylvia was there, as was my grandparents and my cousin and my friend. It was the best homecoming ever.
Wow. There you were, Cathedral of Souls. So you were taken to the place where she lives, where she is.
Yes.
And you can go back to that place.
I've been there several times. Yeah. Yep. I've seen each of the different 7 levels, and some of them I recommend, and some of them I really don't.
Wow. Yep. Do you want to talk about that?
There is a hell. I know there's folks that don't believe in it, and yes, there is. Level 7 of the Cathedral of Souls. Level 6 is pretty darn dank. I don't want to spend any time there myself either. But as you go up the levels, there's increasing light, morality, consciousness, etc., all the way up to level 1, which is heaven.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's all outlined in the second book, Walking the Spirit.
Now we can pray for those souls. That's what comes to you, doesn't it? Souls who are, am I being too literal here?
No,
okay.
You're right. We can absolutely pray for souls. Just because a soul is in the ethereal realm doesn't mean that they know God.
Right. Wow. Right. Oh, it's just, that is such an interesting, and just makes such sense, because we can't all have our work is in this plane is to evolve. And if we haven't been able to, because of issues, because of whatever that was, let's, through prayer here, through prayer there, let's heal that.
Yes. Well, the nice thing is there are a gazillion opportunities for growth and learning and healing in the ethereal realm. The growth is faster here in the physical realm, but it continues in that realm as well.
Wow.
So absolutely, you can pray for anyone, and yeah.
So you have this question on the back that's printed on the back of Walking with Spirit, which was, what can the spirit realm teach us about life on earth? And this is at the core of why you do what you do, why it's important to bring this understanding through you into the words onto the page and on your radio show.
So as we were talking about the 7 levels of the Cathedral of Souls, each of those levels is a different energetic vibration, or a different energetic frequency. So the higher the frequency, the higher you go up. So heaven has a very high energetic frequency. Hell has, and just like sluggish. There's just like no life there whatsoever. And you can take those same levels of energy and superimpose them onto the earthly realm. So what that means, it follows the bell curve. So that means very small number of people here in the physical realm are functioning at a level 1, which is very close connection to spirit, very high morality. There is a Christ consciousness in level 1. Level 2 is really good folks, very high consciousness, just doesn't have the Christ connection. Level 3 and 4, level 3 is really good. I mean, those are your nice people that you want living next door to you. Level 4 is the majority of souls here on Earth, where you've got a lot of good and sometimes a little shady, something going on there. And level 5 is darker, less morality. Really want to find them on the street at night. Level 6 is really quite dark. It's your drug lords, maybe serial killers. Level 7 is those who love the evil and hate humanity. And thankfully, very few. But there are, right?
Yes.
There are. So what we see is the exact same energetic frequencies from the Cathedral of Souls as it is here in the physical realm. So what that tells me, if I'm functioning at a level 2, which is really quite high vibrationally, and I want to go into business with somebody, it is not going to be with somebody who's functioning at a level 5 because the morality won't be there. The alignment of energy won't be there.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And be careful who you marry. Sure.
And what does the oneness bring?
Oneness with spirit, oneness with self.
Mm-hmm. How does it change people?
You know, as much as I've got going on in my life, the fact that spirit can give me perspective on what's happening here in the physical realm brings me such peace of mind.
Wonderful. And so you can proceed with peace of mind.
Right.
That's huge.
As a parent, I would say to any of your parents out there, if you can connect with your child on a soul-to-soul basis, it makes all of the daily garbage that you go through with them just fade away.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Thank you. And that's what you look to do every day.
I adore my girls.
Oh, I get it. So with your daughters, though, and having this really vibrant spiritual life allows you to connect with them soul to soul and to really be able to stay with that in your dealings with them. So nothing is so awful.
Right.
Between you. It doesn't get, because it can get so dramatic with teenagers.
You know, when you're working soul to soul, it really doesn't.
There you go. See? Wish I'd known that before.
I know.
And it's really wonderful advice. That's really wonderful advice. Now, I'm going to venture that your girls are not necessarily spiritual seeking, are they? Do they meditate? Do they do things? No.
They don't. But they will come to me and say, can you read my energy with a friend?
Ooh.
Because this is going on and I just need to know how they feel about me.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't seek it outwardly, but they will ask for verification.
That's so neat. And I really hope everyone who's listening to this takes this gift and opens this present of Ruth Anderson. Ruth Anderson, my goodness. Just light up your life and tune in on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, Ruth. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
If you benefited from this show, please, for heaven's sake, share it. If you want to hear more, go to theglitchmovie.com/podcast guests. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for listening.